Hi, I'm Don Dwyer from Guardian Jet. Today I want to talk about the marketplace and what's going on, the incredible activity that we're seeing and the changing dynamic in the marketplace, a healthy change. But before I do that, I want to introduce our newest employee here at Guardian Jet, Mick Bauman. Mick, come on in here. Welcome to Guardian Jet. So we actually had to adjust the camera angle so that we could fit Mick in, but Mick, you were with most recently United Technologies, and then before that Bombardier, but a strong background in all general aviation business aircraft. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how long have you been in the business?
I've been in aviation now for about 10 years. Like you said, working primarily with general aviation and corporate aviation. My focus has been primarily with maintenance as well as avionics.
That's fantastic. So imagine what this does for a brokerage. We have the capability to understand the avionics, the technical aspects of all the airplanes. Certainly the back of the airplane is becoming more and more important, and the connectivity back there. So we feel very lucky to have somebody like Mick join our organization. He works for Stan Smith, who's our Director of Technical Services. So really beefs up the bench strength we have here at Guardian Jet. Thanks for being here, Mick. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So now I want to talk to you about the markets and what's going on. I think everybody's heard that the marketplace is good. And while we see more transactions, I won't say it's just because of the number of transactions. It's a really changing nature in the marketplace. And I'll start with the OEMs, the manufacturers of the airplane. You know, every year I give a speech and over in Europe, and every year since 2009 I've said, hey, this year's worse than last year for building airplanes. It's a harder business to build airplanes successfully every year. As values fell away from new aircraft pricing, it got succeedingly harder. Well, in 2017 is the first year I didn't say that. The recap of 2017 was, hey, no, things got better for the OEMs. I think we saw whitetails dry up. I think we saw order books firm up. Not to the point where we see this massive increase in pricing, though. It's still a good time to, the OEMs are still anxious to continue the good run that they're on. So we feel very good about buying in the new marketplace. What's fueling that, too, is the lack of good airplanes in the high end of the used marketplace. We're seeing the best airplanes, so 5 years and newer, low time, great pedigree airplanes, not even getting to the marketplace before they're sold. Certainly in I looked at the 450 just a couple days ago. There were only 16 airplanes on the market, about 4.5% of the total fleet of 450s. Before those were pending, so you only had 12 airplanes to choose from, and I want to say 3 or 4 were in the United States. So we're finding that the best airplanes are getting picked over quick. We're finding that we have to travel farther afield to get them. So in the last month and a half, my brother and I and our team have been to Malaysia, to China, to Saudi Arabia, to France, to look at airplanes where we typically a year ago or 2 years ago would have filtered those airplanes out from our searches when we're buying. So very dynamic marketplace. We believe in patience when you're buying an airplane. But now we're saying, okay, patience, but let's be nimble when we identify one. Let's have the ability to move quickly. And that's where we're finding the best airplanes and the best deals for our customers. I do think there's a bifurcated market, and it's not my favorite word. It comes right out of a business school, I think. But there's a split in the marketplace, that the good airplanes, the high-end airplanes, the great pedigree, low time, less than 10 years old airplanes are going to increase in value. They already have. So we're seeing 7Xs, $2 million in value have come up. We're seeing the same thing in the Gulfstream and the Bombardier markets, the same thing in the Embraer market. So we're seeing that prices increase for the best inventory. That's a real split, though, from the low end of the market, which we don't see the price increase so far and don't see it coming. We think that the regulatory issues, getting airplanes ready for 2020 is going to be a real change in the marketplace. If those of you old enough to remember when RVSM was reduced, we saw that kind of push airplanes out of the marketplace or make airplanes obsolete, and we certainly see that again. Now, if that happens to a large degree, maybe the better prepared airplanes in that market will increase in value a little bit. But we see it right now as the split in the marketplace, and the great pedigree airplanes, which we are lucky enough to have a lot of those to sell, are increasing in price. So it's something we're watching very closely. I think a lot of you know we track a lot of different models, 130 different aircraft models, and we are seeing this increase in the good airplanes from the Pilatus PC-12 through the G650. So that's what I see going on right now. I'm Don Dwyer from Guardian Jet. I think you know how to get a hold of us. Please do.